I'm Mike Wilder, and this is Wilderwords, a blog about learning English. Today, I'm going to introduce you to phrasal verbs in English. Now, don't freak out. A phrasal verb is a two-part verb that is formed by a verb and what we call a particle. Now, a particle is a word that usually functions as an adjective or an adverb or a preposition, but in this case, it's really part of the verb. So here are some examples of particles: about, across, apart, around, aside, away, back, by, down, forward, in, off, on, out, over, round, through, together, and up. Let's take an example of out, as it functions as a part of particle. Now, out can be an adverb. I am going out for a walk. Where am I going out for a walk? Out can be an adjective. We are out of coffee. Or out can be a preposition. I ran out the door. Where did I run? Out the door. The verb ran is in the simple past, and out is the preposition that links the adverbial clause out the door. But what if I say, can I borrow some coffee? I ran out. Or if I just said, I ran out of coffee. Now, I haven't actually run anywhere. My legs haven't moved. What it means is I don't have any more coffee. Je suis en panne de café. Ran out is a phrasal verb that means I don't have any more. Je suis en panne de quelque chose. The printer ran out of paper. Now, there are literally hundreds of phrasal verbs in English, and they can be very confusing as the verb and the particle together mean something very different than they do when they're just a verb and an adjective, or a verb and an adverb, or a verb and a preposition. Plus, one verb can make many different phrasal verbs with different particles. So, just for today, let's take the example of the verb come and how it interacts with other particles to form different phrasal verbs. So, come across. To come across something means to find something unexpectedly. I came across this interesting book in the library. And what that means is you didn't go to the library. I didn't go to the library looking for that specific book. Maybe I was just looking in the library. I was looking for another book. But, oh, I saw this book. I came across this book. And it also works for people. I came across my friend Bob while I was at the grocery store. Now, there's another phrasal verb that we usually use for that, which is ran into, but come across also works for people. Now, come apart is to separate, when something comes into pieces. So, if you pull too hard on your zipper, it will come apart. My biscuits weren't very good. They all came apart. They fell apart. Come down with something means to become sick. She came down with a cold last week. She became sick last week. She caught a cold, but she came down with a cold last week. Come forward doesn't involve walking. come forward means to volunteer for a task, or in a legal sense, to give evidence. So, someone came forward with a donation for our charity. We can go ahead with the project. It means that they offered something, they offered a donation. Or a witness who had seen the crime came forward. They stepped up, they made their presence felt, but they didn't actually have to move somewhere. And the last one is come from. Now you come from somewhere. I come from Montreal, to originate in. Costa comes from Greece. Costa est d'origine grecque. He comes from Greece. So that's just an example of one verb with 5 different particles and how they form different phrasal verbs. Now, next video, I'm going to talk about this more. I'm also going to talk about how you can sort of infer or guess the meaning of a phrasal verb that you've never seen before. Now, in the meantime, the thing about phrasal verbs is there are so many, and I'm certainly not going to go through all of them in a video. So if you look in the blog roll box next to your video screen on the page, on the blog page, you will see a link for a page called 50 Common English Phrasal Verbs. I found this page on the web. It's a great page from a great site which you can look around, but you might find it interesting just to take some time to look through and see some of these expressions, these phrasal verbs that you might come across in everyday English. But until then, that's it for now. I'm Mike Wilder. These were Wilderwords. Have a great day.